Alright guys, TacticalRab again today. Hope you're doing well and enjoying your day so far with Nadeshot and Scump playing in the OpTic Nation Challengers team and getting some matches ready over the last couple of days. Nadeshot has given a lot of credit to Scump in the way that he's played in this game and could potentially play if he was to return to competition at some point or another. Nate says that if Scump was to come back to competing on OpTic or even elsewhere at some point in the future, he could still be the best player in the game. Do you guys agree with this perspective? How are Los Angeles Thieves getting on? Nadeshot's team, they're looking good in Scrum so far. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always, I would greatly appreciate it. Bit of a violation, I'm not going to lie, so I'll just move on swiftly from this one. Quickly from Adam as well, from Toronto Ultra, Overactive Media side. He basically says they don't expect to make any franchise payments any longer, basically, because it's been a big story lately that in the Overwatch League, they're calling it a day, they're getting paid a bit of money to just disappear and move on to whatever comes after the OWL. The CDL will probably be the same in the near future, and we don't really know how much of the $25 million the teams have paid. They will be paying in installments over several years, and they might have paid, I don't know, have they paid 6 million? Have they paid 10 million? I don't know. But the theory is they won't be paying any more of that, and Adam basically says, yeah, we don't expect to be making any of those payments. We're not. The expectation is that that will not be required. So this is, well, I suppose it's a good thing, but nonetheless, I think that we can all expect that at some point in the next couple of years, there might be some serious changes to the way the CDL is presently run. Now, a couple of teams. The last few days we have seen, especially the Flank 75k tournament, lots of duos from, you know, OpTic and Toronto and New York, for example, making the finals. I mean, pretty much the finals was Toronto, New York, and then a bit of OpTic. So maybe not a massive surprise that the teams we expect to be right to the top are indeed right to the top. Now, Boston and Los Angeles Thieves, those are the two teams that most people have 5th and 6th in some way or another in their theoretical power rankings. But Boston have been, well, they've been up and down the last few days. They've had some good results in practice, some not so good results in practice. This, for example, was one of them, Team Asim. This is the roster of Asim, Exceed, Crump and Bracto, I don't forget. And they won all 4 maps they played here. So they played Terminal, Subbase, Skid Row, Karachi. I don't know what happened on the next map, because I'm presuming they played the Invasion as well. But at least in these 4, Asim's team won all 4 of them against Boston Breach. The other very impressive result, I thought, though, the other way, was this one from Los Angeles Thieves, where, again, these are the 4 maps they played. I'm guessing they also played the Invasion, but here are the 4 screenshots that Ronnie can put in the tweet, but still gets the point across. That Temps team, very good team, let's be honest, right? They've been mixing maps up with OpTic, they've been playing up against FaZe relatively competitively, so Temps team is, you know, Temp, TJ, Spartan, Prolute. They've been looking good so far, and they could be on a level which, you know, is equating to some of the pro teams at the moment, no doubt about it. But they played 4 maps against Thieves, and it kind of got handled, like, here pretty badly. I mean, look at these numbers, 250 to 70, I think he said 78, but actually this looks like 7-0 to me. So 250 to 70, 250 184, 250 200, 250 204. Like, that's pretty crushing from the Thief side. And I think they've been impressing a lot of people lately with how well they have been looking in their practice so far. Ghosty, I mean, all the guys have been looking good. I also kind of find it funny how it's possible to just get giga slammed on this game, you know what I mean? There's some maps like Subbase where you can drop 60 or 50 or certainly 40. It's definitely possible on that map. But many of the maps, there's not that many kills to go around. So the maps are quite big, they take a long time to get places, there's a respawn delay in play, so it means that it's possible to drop like 5. I mean, Prolute here goes 5 in 16, which you wouldn't really see. I mean, it's when Doug dropped 7 back in the day, that was funny just because, you know, dropping single digits never really happens. But on this map, 3 players drop single digits on Temp's team. So there's going to be guys getting roasted this year for dropping in the single digits. There's no doubt. It's definitely possible. It would sometimes happen last year, but mostly It would sometimes happen last year, but it's mostly maybe in Control. I think RC's had a bad one in Control. There was one game where Priestahh dropped like 3 or something or whatever it was, and then he bounced back. So, you know, it does happen occasionally, but it seems to happen in this game more often than you might expect otherwise. But yeah, Thieves, how good are they looking? Potentially pretty damn good. As it seems, is their CEO as well. We see some clips here from Nadeshot playing with Scump for the last couple of days. This, I'm pretty sure, was in that tournament, that like 20k. They kind of won their regional division or whatever that they took took the victory, and Scump was kind of parading around with the trophy the other day. But look at this kill that Nadeshot gets here. Goes for the wide chill on Dashy, and absolutely guns Dashy like into oblivion. His teammate gets the final kill as well. They get the bomb defuse, and yeah, impressive stuff. So Nadeshot, we know he's getting roasted the other day. I put that clip at the end of the video when people coming at Nade and saying, oh, you know, you're not good anymore, you're washed, but at least you're a millionaire, you got your organization, so fair play. But and then Nadeshot was clapping back. But you know, look, Nade still got the talent, and it's cool to see that he's been grinding the game and looking to improve. And he says actually a similar thing on Scump here in just a second, where he comments on the Scump situation, the fact that Scump's been absolutely cooking the last couple of days. Whenever he's played 8s, like BPL 8s and stuff like this, Scump's been on fire, and it really shouldn't be a surprise. I mean, this game suits Scump, I think, very well, especially because Scump can use the AR, you know. And this is why it's just a shame as far as I'm concerned that Scump didn't play this year or play a little bit longer, or even play last year, because there was a chance that last year he might have been, you know, needed as a flex. Of course, we know that this season he was considering coming back to OpTic Texas in place of what would eventually have been Kenny's role and playing on that flex position. And look at some of these clips here we'll see in a second here from Scump on the AR. Like, it would be an exciting time to see how he would fare. And there's no doubt in Nadeshot's mind and many people's mind that if Scump wanted to return and was committed to doing so, because, you know, Scump was still pretty good last year, the brief period he played, despite probably not liking the game massively, as many of us didn't. He does seem to like this game. So if he did decide to make the return, how good would he possibly be? Nadeshot says that his ceiling would be the best player in the game.
To me, ever since the...
You saw Scump pissing in Pro 8s against Simp, Drazah, and Pred? Yeah, bro. I was actually texting Seth about that last night. I legitimately, like, feel bad that I'm trying to hit up Scump to play all these scrims and shit and do 8s or challenges or whatever. Because from his perspective, brother, he could be playing and be, like, the best player in the league right now if he really wanted to, bro. So, it's probably very frustrating to sit here playing with me. Meanwhile, he's slamming Drazah, Pred, and Shotzzy and all this. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to get better as fast as I can, and who knows if it'll ever be enough so that he doesn't have to feel that level of pain. But
nading over A, heavy nade J. Bottom pillar dead. Brandon, peace.
Nice job.
Nothing mid.
Inspirational out of you, Scump.
Be top red.
I just heard a door open. Was that you? Oh, top red, top red. In the window. Nice.
I'm holding. Okay. All right.
Dead.
I'm watching chicken coop flank.
I think go for
Back alley,
it.
back alley dead.
Holy, I almost snapped on you.
Good
I'm gonna
snap
lay it.
shots.
I'm
I
gonna
like
lay
that. Back up stream, I think is what it's called.
Absolute dead. Nice.
What's going on over there?
You got flank.
Top red, top red.
Yeah, I'm watching flank. Alright, Scump.
Oh, I'm running around.
Brandon, absolute, absolute.
Done. My fault. Trepian.
Start running at these fuckers, bro.
Oh, sure.
Wait, one's out on me.
One just saw me pushing their spawn.
Two are bottom, like, their side B.
Seth, I'm not sure what I can get away with back here because they saw me cross into their base. Oh, wow. Grim is underground. And there's one B street, one underground.
I'm gonna come lay it on you. I have a smoke.
He could be bottom green on you. You have to be quick. Get, no, come here.
Okay. Yeah, he's there, he's there, he's there. I
Come to me,
smoked towards bomb.
come to me.
Oh, he chased.
Only you remain. Finish the mission. You secured the
Oh, baby.
enemy plane. Bravo.
One's back right street, There's another one there.
Okay.
So winnable.
Nothing in sight. I don't think he's in there.
Dashy dead.
Nice. Two should stop heli right now.
Might be playing like...
And
L
nice.
Good
Oh
shit.
my god, yo,
fucking
Matt,
shit.
you just went crazy.
So what do you guys think about this from Nadeshot's point of view, right? I mean, Scump hasn't lost it. That's very clear. Watching any of his gameplay over the last while, you'll see a lot of evidence of exactly that. How good would he be though in the league? Because in his prime, Scump was best player ever, no doubt, and during the years where he was absolutely at his best, we're talking Advanced Warfare, maybe even part of Ghost to be fair, but definitely Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, End of Infinite Warfare, stuff like this. Scump, especially on the SMG, was just no one could get anywhere close to the level that he was putting up on a consistent basis. You guys can't quite probably see the numbers here, they're kind of small, but it gets the point across as to what Scump's done in his career and just all the years of kind of dominant on OpTic that Scump delivered. Last year, these were his numbers. He obviously didn't play for that long, played a couple of series really at the start of the season, one LAN event, it still looked pretty good and had some great moments, especially in his final series he ever played up against Memphis and Boston guys, absolutely slamming them for a few minutes. That was pretty impressive from Scump and a good way to close his career out, if that is going to be it, because Scump has made it very clear for some time that a return is not absolutely out of the realms of possibility. If he likes the game, we talked earlier today that Treyarch's game is apparently going to be their kind of best developed game ever. They've had more time to work on this new Treyarch title than Treyarch have ever had before. So, you know, if I'm a pro player who's thinking about coming back, I'm thinking, well, maybe that's a good time to do it. So I have no doubt that if Scump was to return to the league, let's say he was to come into like that flex role instead of Kenny, just by example, I'm not even sure that would necessarily be good for OpTic, just because Kenny's been brought in to do a job from the leadership standpoint. Scump's never really quite been that guy, so I don't know how that would actually work if that was to happen. And like, it's not going to happen because, you know, they've made their decision and OpTic are going to run the season as they are. But if OpTic were to get slammed or something and Scump was to be like, all right, Hex, you know, do you need to bring me in like March just to save this team and win another ring? Okay, I'll do it. Don't worry about it. How good would Scump be though, right? Because back in Cold War, Scump was, you know, borderline maybe top 10 player, something like that. I know that Octane thought that he was really good and thought that he was definitely the best player on OpTic during that season, so maybe Octane even had Scump maybe top 5 during the Cold War season. Vanguard probably wasn't quite the same, but he was still pretty good, and there's always a correlation with how much Scump enjoys the games as to how good at it he actually is. And then in Modern Warfare 2, we didn't get to see enough of him really to understand where he would have been. But how would Scump fare if he was to return today? Because look, he's still incredibly good, but he's not necessarily prime Scump in the way that he was, you know, maybe 6-7 years ago, something like that, where Scump was really peak of his powers. Still would be better than the vast majority of players in the league. Would he be best of the best, right? This is the question, because I think Nadeshot saying you can be best in the game is maybe over-again it somewhat. Like, how would he fare against Cellium? How would he fare against the likes of HyDra or, you know, some of the other players that have been dominating the last couple of years? It's tough to call, but I guess the only way we're going to know is if he actually goes in and does it, right? Like, if he actually gets in there, makes the return, how that would happen, that's a big question in and of itself. Just before we close out, this was a weird one yesterday from Aiden Ross, who of course is a very controversial character, shall we say, on the Kick.com side, suggesting his interest in potentially getting into the competitive scene. We've seen quite a lot of this lately with personalities. Now, Nadeshot, I guess, was one example, but he created an entire organization around it. Other guys such as Disguised Toast have created their own kind of org, DSG, but it's kind of more of like a creator-led thing. Same with Moist Esports that Charlie, Moist Critical, and those guys have going all over there. So maybe Aiden Ross is looking for a similar thing. I don't know if this would end particularly well. More than likely that would not be the case, but nonetheless just a bit of an interesting storyline to keep your eyes on. Just to quickly mention here before we close out then, this is the latest BPL leaderboard. Drazah is, okay, he's still P3, but he's falling back a little bit because Vivid is cooking right now. 16 in 5. 13-27, Awakening, Linz, Kremp is actually the top 5. Ghosty's not far behind as well. So, yeah, right now, Vivid is looking very good because he's not played too many games less than Drazah has, but yet his win rate is significantly higher. So very much enjoyed to all your thoughts on this in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care, and I'll see you next time.